Pigeons, okay, okay.
And also,
No, 1 second,
like you
Nana.
learn, it helps you, like it helps with your people skills also.
Okay, Nana. So yes, you're saying something. Go ahead. I can't hear you, Nana. You're muted.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, it also helps to improve your like social. Yeah, ma'am. So it helps improve your confidence and your social skills. And if you speak more often, you can also improve your fluency and like you can speak better.
Okay, fine. So you think it's a good skill?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, now what is a dialogue writing? What how effective could you be? You know, in your speech or in a public speaking activity. What is the role of dialogue writing? Why do you think that I would just randomly talk about dialogue or dialogue writing? Just think, take a minute, think.
Ma'am, is it like related to public speaking or is it different?
It is related to this, Nana, to the speaker.
Ma'am, usually like you write dialogues so that you know what you say when you speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make it up on spot, especially if you're like giving a long speech.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay. You know what? But when you read a story or when you read a short story, long story, what is more which story is very impactful? When you just read a story of a narration or when you have dialogues in it.
Dialogues.
Why do you think, a story that has dialogues in it makes a strong impact on the reader?
Because the reader would feel like reading it more and yeah, man. And they would be like they wouldn't get distracted as easily.
Okay. No, I want you to be in a reader's position and think for a minute. Take a minute. Now imagine you reading a text, just a plain text, a narrative, or or something like that, and a story that has, dialogues in it. So why? Which one do you see? I'm not telling a story that has dialogues is more interesting. Of course, you can have your, say. But when you're saying something, I want it with an evidence. Why do you think? Just like that saying dialogue, right? A story that has dialogues is more effective.
Yeah, man.
Take a minute, think. No, no. See, you can be very vague when you're answering, okay?
Mom, like if you're like say it's in like a script or something, like just for an example, like it helps to develop the character and also tells you more about the character and it gives life to the story.
Exactly. I think you're right there on the point. So it gives life to the story, right? Well said. When a story is being described, when we talk about the senses, right? You know what a sense writing is, right, Nana?
Yeah,
A character is being told that what he's doing, what he's looking like, and maybe how he's smelling like, and things like that. Right? You keeping all the five senses makes it more interesting, and it makes the reader, you know, very close to the writer. Okay.
yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Now let me just show you. I'm sure you know who she is, right?
Um, yeah, man.
Who is she?
Wait, okay, no, ma'am, I don't. Ma'am, I thought it was someone else.
You don't know who she is?
No.
Okay, fine. Let's just watch.
This is all wrong. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're
Today,
and come here
do you getting? I mean, do you get the context what she's speaking and all?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
Okay. So she is Greta Nana. She is known for her speech. I mean, she is, when I think she was 12 or something when she first spoke. Okay. So her concern was about the climate change, how rapidly it's changing, and what is the take, what is people's take on it. Okay. And she's been all over the news for the longest time. She's been to UNO and all major platforms that she could and she can. Okay. So majorly her concern is about climate change and how rapidly it is changing and what is that as human beings we are doing. Okay. And what kind of precautions are we taking? This is her major concern. Okay. Now, there's a reason that, why I showed you that. Okay. Now, let's just, go back. Now, tell me, all the while when you're watching, um, what kind of, what made you, okay, do you at all think uh, her way of speaking, like, how well could an audience connect with her?
Mama, she spoke everything clearly, and she basically just stated the flaws of
Okay.
of governments and people.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So you think she has got good flow, and then she pointed out all the flaws uh, at the governments and as well as individuals how we are failing. Okay, fine. Now let me show you something and tell you. Okay, and then you tell me how do you feel about this page?
This is all wrong.
Okay. Okay. So the the big three persuasive appeal for any public speaker is Legos, pathos, and ethos. Okay, Nana. So you can call them as logic, very first one. And the second one is something that has to do, sorry, something that has to do with ethic, okay, ethos, okay. And the third one is pathos that we can call it as emotions. Okay, so when you start off, whatever you're saying, okay, it should have some logical connection. Okay, it should have a logical sense that that should evoke in people. Okay. Now, whatever you're speaking should have some logic, isn't it? Normally, generally speaking of which, isn't it, Akshay?
Yeah, ma'am.
I come here and I tell, what public speaking is, and then I go back to Shakespeare. Does that even make sense? Is
No.
that a logical connection? Not really, right, Nana? Now, yes. Something that that where it has logic in it, and how do you give evidence to it? Now, remember each and every point that I'm telling you. Okay. Now, let's go back to ethos, ethic, okay, character and credibility. It talks a lot about your personality, okay, and the things that you believe in, okay, the ethnicity, the personality, the character of the speaker. Okay, now you might think why a good speaker should, uh, should we know about their personality, or how is that even a proper parameter? Okay, Akshay.
Yeah, ma'am.
But it is always said, right? What you believe is, what a person makes speech more effective. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's a very general statement. But basically, none of the audience are, listening to you. They need to connect. So for connect, the emotional factor here is very important, Akshay. Okay, when you watch a movie, when do you say, when do you call, oh, this movie is an amazing movie? Why? When do you say?
No, I'm like, if the plot is good and if the actors are good,
Okay, the actors are good, if the plot is good. In a sense, you need to get emotionally. There should be some kind of emotional connect, isn't it?
yeah, ma'am.
Right. So here, how the speaker is emotionally triggering or emotionally connecting with the audiences, with her or his audiences, Nana. So persuasion here in a speaker, like the three big persuasive appeals are logic to begin with. Anything that you speak has has to have logic in it, and it should provide good evidence, Nana. Now, just I cannot say that the climate is rapidly changing and it's not good for the human race, or it is not good for the mother earth. Okay, can I just say that and get away with it? I need to bring up evidence. It says, if the climate is acting this fast, maybe in 30 years, according to report, I forgot the report's name. So we need to have another planet like Earth if we are not taking action against it. Okay, all right, Nana. Now, why ethnicity? Why what you believe? How do you articulate in what you believe is also very important. Okay, and the other one is, like I said, the emotional connect only is a big trigger for the audience to connect with the speaker, Nana. So not everyone who speaks have this connection. Have you ever heard Narendra Modi speaking?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, you heard. But you know that he is known for his, articulative skills. He's known as a good orator.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, but I've only seen him speak in Hindi and I don't know Hindi, so.
Hardly. So, I was just thinking about it. He doesn't speak any other language other than English, okay? So I'm like, okay, how, I mean, other than Hindi, I'm like, how did he understand all that? But anyway, so he's known for his speaking, Nana. He's known for his oratory skills. Okay, that's just because he puts in a lot of emotion and he gets connected. He connects at a very, at a very intense level with his audience. That's the reason he's known as a great orator. Okay, so now for someone to be a good public speaker, all these three appeals, all these three elements are very important. Okay, now let's just go back, okay, and watch the video again. Okay, Nana, you might think, no, ma'am, I don't need it, then I'll stop. Or you think, keeping all this in mind, you want to watch one more time? I'll play. What shall I do?
Ma'am, I'll watch it again.
Okay.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe.
Okay, Nana, now that you watched, do you see what do you see? Like, does any of the elements is dominating in her speech, or do you see all these three elements,
Ma'am, the emotion.
Okay, so you think the emotion is very evident in her speech.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So how about how logically is she able to connect her ideas, and while expressing it to people, to her audiences? Okay, I
Ma'am,
agree with you
she
that.
is logical, but like there's not that much of evidence.
No, maybe it's also because of the duration. I just put in some 1.5 minutes, but this is what good 2, 3, I think 2 hour thing or something. So you will make more. You will just find it more sensible if you watch throughout. But yeah, otherwise also it's the 1.5 minute. The emotion is very evident and dominating as well. I agree. Okay. Now, what are all this? How do you feel about the speech? Mars is actually very cool place. Mercury is the very smallest planet. Neptune is far away from Earth. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Why? What was I actually thinking when I was, you maybe when
Ma'am, what?
no, what do you think? Why I have put in all these things? Why am I talking about planets suddenly?
Um, I'm not sure.
Okay. So even, if you're thinking of an alternate planet anytime soon, no planet is as good as Earth. Okay. You're muted, Akshat.
Yeah, ma'am.
I thought you're talking something. You're saying me something.
No, ma'am.
All right. Now, I want you to come up with a small speech. So whatever you told, Nana, it's partially correct. Basically, public speaking is about having a sum of audience. Okay. The sum of audience also is not necessarily that, has to be, in a larger number or anything like that. So when you formally or informally speak about something, you can call it as public speaking. But when it comes to seminars or when it comes to, paper presentation or when it comes to, um, things like this, you pretty much don't call it the public speaking, but you can call it, the skill set that is public speaking is definitely useful when you do all these things. Okay, Akshay. Now, I give
Yeah, ma'am.
you all liberty to think of a topic, okay? Right, take good 10 minutes time, okay? Develop, first you develop a writing, okay? And then you can just tell me what is that you want to speak about, okay? And then from there we'll go ahead. If you want me to give topic, I will give, but I want you to decide one. I mean, I really don't know what you're interested and all.
Can it be like any topic?
That can be any topic, Nana, any topic that you like.
Okay, man. Mom, like, can I for the speech, can I just write like an intro, body, and conclusion?
Yeah, see, that's what you have to see for any public speaker, for anyone who's doing this kind of they first pen it down. Okay, without penning, I don't think they have the flow. They have a time, to be on time and things like that. Okay, so you have to by all means. But before you do that, you tell me what is that you want to speak on. It can be the latest, TV debate that you saw, or it could be anything that has to do with the environment, with science fiction, anything.
Um,
Or anything that you think that needs to be told and bring in some awareness among people, like something like child abuse, something like child labor, or maybe what importance of education, anything.
I have
Full access to internet, you are free to use internet, collect ideas from there, I don't mind at all. Okay, you have full access to internet as well. It's not like, I want Akshat to just do it by himself using all his brains. No, please take internet help if you want.
okay, man. Oh, 1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah.